Alright guys, welcome back to Hero-Villain Mashup, where I take a hero or hero team and pit them against a villain from another, series or show or whatever. And today I'm going to be doing She-Ra from She-Ra Princesses of Power versus Darkseid. So this would be like, what if Darkseid became a villain of She-Ra? And it really does make sense when you think about it, because Darkseid is very much like a Horde Prime level villain. Actually, no, I take that he's beyond Horde Prime. But he does fit that kind of, like, level of evil that Adora was fighting against. So, for sake of argument, let's say, like, this is after Season 5, and we've got, there's no more Horde and whatever, and here comes Apokolips. So, let's get this out of the way. As powerful as She-Ra is, she's not on the level of Darkseid. And you may be already thinking, oh, you're just saying that because you hate women. No. Let me explain. Darkseid is on a level of godhood that has made other gods go, I ain't fucking with him. Remember, this is a guy who beat Zeus in combat. And keep in mind, the Darkseid you see is an avatar. Yeah. The Darkseid you see in the world is not the real Darkseid. That's his avatar. The real Darkseid exists on another level of existence, and his power is mind-blowing as it is. And keep in mind, Darkseid is a villain who, quite literally, Superman has said multiple times, I don't know if I could beat him in a head-on fight. Yeah. So, it's not a matter of, and this is what I find really interesting, because this would be, Darkseid is literally an opponent that Adora just can't punch away. She can punch him, sure, but that's not going to make Darkseid go away. In fact, Darkseid would literally, like, a moment Adora just cracks him across the fist as She-Ra with everything she had, Darkseid's just going to be like, my turn. Boom! Or Omega Beams, or something like that. And keep in mind, Darkseid's never alone. He's got, of course, his Legion of Parademons, which, if you thought the clones if you thought the Horde clones were bad, Parademons are on a whole other level. Not to mention, you've got Granny Goodness and the female Furies, which I would imagine they would want to take, like, Scorpia or Catra or any of the princesses and try to, like, brainwash them into becoming new members of their, their female Furies. So, yeah. You've got, like, Stampa, Lashina, Mad Harriet, you've got, and all of those guys are pretty powerful. Not to mention you've got Darkseid and whatever kind of weird shit he's gonna cook up, and Steppenwolf, Rip-Roar, Calabac. Darkseid has got his share of minions to, assist him in his conquest. Now, the other major thing is that since this would be post-Season 5, you would have the major aspect, the other major edge that She-Ra would have, She-Ra would have is that they're not really fighting the Horde anymore. It's more like a united front. But it's also kind of a weakened front, really. Because the Horde's gone, the armies of the armies of Etheria have been fractured a bit. So Darkseid's on and Darkseid is a dude who has taken on the armies of New Genesis, the Justice League, and all of that. The dude's got some serious battle experience, and I could just see Darkseid really getting into Adora's head, like, really just fucking with her mind, like, just being like, how brave of you, how I found your city how I found your world was you trying to return magic to the world. Congratulations, Etherian, you condemned your world to die. So that would be, a major thing, is that Darkseid would really, like, get into her head when Adora's like, yeah, let's go restore magic to the universe, and Darkseid would be like, that's what called me. That's what drew my attention to you. So that would be a major thing in here, would be that Darkseid would really, like, on a mental, like, he would and the other thing is that Adora, she doesn't know, it's kind of like in the same vein of Korra, where Korra would kind of, like, let her emotions get the best of her. Adora's a little more controlled, but if you just tinge at you hit the right nerve with Adora, that's, you know, that's going to tip in Darkseid's favor. And Darkseid really knows how to get in someone's head. Not to mention, he will hurt you in ways that I can't even begin to describe. Let's not forget that his Omega Beam, like, he would just loose his Omega Beams, and kind of like in that scene of Superman the Animated Series where Darkseid murdered Dan Turpin, you could have you could do the same thing where I could see Darkseid just loosing the Omega Beams and just sending them everywhere, and like, who's it gonna hit? Who's it gonna hit? Like, it hits somebody like Glimmer or Catra or something. That's gonna drive Adora, you know, just to a new level of rage right there, and he's just gonna be like, Darkseid out, boom, tubes away, back to Apokolips, and just leaves Adora a mess for, you know, whatever kind of insanity he could come up with next. The other thing is, could you imagine, by the way, Entrapta getting a hold of a mother box, or getting a hold of any kind of apocalyptic tech? Like, she would be literally like, I need a few minutes alone with the technology in a soundproof room. I'm not going to do anything weird with it. That's a lie, I am. You know Entrapta would do that. You don't even lie. You already know Entrapta would try to do weird... You know, she'd try to fuck it. But... could you just imagine, like, Entrapta getting a hold of at least a mother box? Like, it would just be like, forget first one's tech. This is on a whole other level. I'm in love. Sorry, Hordak, I found a new person to love. It's Mother Box. God, and the other thing is, too, like, sure, you've got, like, you know, you've got Hordak on your side, you've got, like, Scorpia and all of them, and all the princesses, but Darkseid's army is vast, and, like I said before, the armies of Etheria are still kind of like, if this was to happen post-Season 5, the armies of Etheria are still kind of fucked up on both ends of the spectrum. The Horde army's still kind of fractured. The armies of Etheria are still messed up. So really, and also they're still kind of like on edge with each other. Each side is both really, you know, angry with one another still for, you know, the past few seasons. So Adora would really have to try to convince both the Horde and the Etheria and the armies of Etheria to be like, look, this Darkseid guy, Horde Prime ain't got shit on him. I don't care what you gotta do, but we gotta unite to stop this Darkseid guy, because he doesn't even want to conquer us. He just wants to kill us because that's his whole thing. That's the scary part about Darkseid, because like, as Mr. Miracle said, Darkseid is. And Darkseid's will is that he will just kill you because he's Darkseid. So, like, again, going back to Darkseid just psychologically damaging Adora, could you imagine, like, he kidnaps Catra and just brainwashes her to be a new Fury, or cybernetically enhances her with Apokolips tech? He would just do that just to be like, I knew how Catra had your heart, and I'm going to use her to break it. Yeah. So, I mean, I would not totally count out Adora at any point in this clash between the two, but at the same time, I'm like, God, Darkseid would just be terrifying. But he does, like, at the same time, he would make a perfect sense as a She-Ra villain. Like, honestly, he really does feel like a villain for She-Ra. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think it would be like if Adora and the princesses fought Darkseid and the forces of Apokolips? Like, what it would be like if Darkseid was a villain for She-Ra? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.